With the GoCurrency.com sports ticker, I'm Tim Mulhaupt on the Huskers Radio Network. Welcome into a new week, Huskers fans. A new week and a new ranking for the Huskers, and Nebraska Volleyball enters the week back atop the AVCA rankings following another two-sweep week of work that also saw Texas and Louisville each lose a match. So the Huskers now number one in the country. A key member of the Huskers' success last week and throughout the season is freshman Becca Alec, who was named the Big Ten Freshman of the Week for the second consecutive week. And Alec averaged 3.17 kills per set while hitting .548 in sweeps over Purdue and Illinois last week. Huskers volleyball has now won 6 straight sweeps and 19 consecutive sets, each a program best since Nebraska joined the Big Ten. They'll face a greater test this coming week, taking on Wisconsin in Madison Wednesday night. Coverage of that national championship rematch begins right here on the Huskers Radio Network at 7 p.m. And congratulations to Husker Soccer, who, after a big win over Penn State last week, has earned a berth and a home game to open the Big Ten postseason tournament. They'll host Ohio State this Saturday up at Hibner Stadium. The official start time yet to be determined, so we'll keep you posted on that one. In pro sports tonight, Monday Night Football hits the airwaves at 7:15 p.m. The Chicago Bears are in Foxborough to take on the Patriots. Mac Jones is expected to play despite the stellar play of fourth-round rookie quarterback Bailey Zappi for the Patriots. So Mac Jones appears to be the starter tonight. In the NBA, it's a good slate of Monday night action, but here are two prime matchups to watch. At 7 p.m., the Spurs are in Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves. And at 9 p.m., the Nuggets head up to Portland to take on Damian Lillard and the undefeated Trailblazers. And in the NHL, 2 games to watch. At 7 p.m., Sidney Crosby and the Penguins take on Connor McDavid and the Oilers. And at 9 p.m., it's the potential Stanley Cup matchup with the Vegas Golden Knights hosting the Toronto Maple Leafs. This update is presented by Currency. Does your business need help financing big-ticket items like equipment, trucks, and trailers? Currency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Well, under center goes Casey Thompson. Yantha Deepak. They turn, give it off to Jock, left side. Leans, he's in. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Ask and ye shall receive.
After the second attempt, Grieslow in transition, leaves his feet the trailer, and a dunk with a right hand off the feet from Sam Grieslow. It's Jawan Gary.
Woo! Jessica Nungi serves. Good pass. Huskers quick attack. Kaboom! Kalen Horde, great connection with Nicklin Hames. It's 11-6. Big Red set one.
That is the best connection I have seen between Nicklin Hames and Caitlin Horde so far this season.
Here's Sam driving, and he stuffs it with a right hand. And there, my friends, is a tremendous hit right there.
Hitting tips. No. Now Nebraska feeds outside. And Maddie full swing down. Kaboom! All the tipping. Until Maddie decided enough of that. This is not a restaurant.
Tip try by Gary. Missed it. Put back up and in, and Gary draws the foul as well. How about Dawson and Gary owning the offensive glass?
The dynamic duo right there. Casey turns, hands it off to Grant, pushes his way near the goal line. Touchdown, Nebraska! And it's a 7-point game.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Off week is over, and first place back on the line for the Huskers as they get ready for the Fighting Illini to come here on Saturday afternoon. Welcome back to another week of Sports Alley here on the Huskers Radio Network. Yes, indeed, folks. I know it may not seem that way, but if the Huskers can beat Illinois, right back at the top.
Hey, again, still a lot on the table, and we've been saying that, and that's why even after the Purdue game, the players all acknowledge that as well. Like, it is wide open, still completely in their hands of how this thing finishes out. So still a lot to play for.
Purdue kind of laid an egg Saturday. They went to Madison. We talked about it on our pick segment Friday. They had lost 15 straight to Wisconsin. Now it's 16. They just can't get over the hump with them, and so they get their second loss and come right back to Nebraska.
It's also crazy, too, how Wisconsin has responded following Coach getting fired, and, gosh, the offense has gotten rolling. I know they lost to Michigan State, but they've looked like a different football team than they did that first part of the season.
Probably should have won that one, too.
Yes,
They had a real chance to win that game. So they're 2-1 since Paul Chris got kicked to the curb, and so that looks like maybe a more of a daunting game for the Huskers in a couple weeks. But first things first, it's Illinois this week, 2:30 kick. We did not get a kickoff time for next week's game with Minnesota. And I mentioned this, I think, last week on the air, that twice during the season, the TV networks get 2 different times. They have a 6-day window they can employ, and they're putting one of those in effect for the November 5th game. So we won't know till Saturday night, Sunday morning what time Minnesota is.
And did that happen already once? So this will be the last time?
No, this is the first time.
Oh, this is the first time. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it had happened before. Dang.
So,
but it can't be in prime time, right?
It will not be at night.
So it'll either be 11 or 2:30.
Right. So for those of you that are planning things, and I know that's what I get so many calls and texts, I need to know I got a wedding or I got a party I'm going to or I got a kids event I'm trying to go to. We don't know, but it won't be at night. Jessica's right. It'll be 11 or 2:30 for Minnesota. 2:30 this week, and I'm ready for it. The weather forecast looks pretty good.
Yes, what, like mid-60s?
Yeah.
My mom called me because they're coming down or coming up. She's like, what do I have to wear for 60s? Is that like light jacket? I was like, yeah, light jacket.
Well, if you're sitting in the sun, you might be warm.
Yeah. But it's been hot in Oklahoma, so she was asking me. I'm like, it'll be pretty beautiful. It'll be nice.
Sideline reporters, I'm telling you, that's the first thing you look at.
I do. I looked at it 2 weeks ago, and I always look ahead, and then I see how it changed. I monitor that very closely.
We're going to hear more about Husker football here in a little bit. Jessica taped the weekly podcast with Jeremiah Searles earlier today. We'll hear a snippet of that coming up here in a few minutes as they start to break down all things Husker football. So we'll look forward to that here in just a few minutes. Tim mentioned it in the ticker. Husker volleyball back to #1 in the country. 11 straight wins. They are absolutely on fire.
They've been deserving of #1, I felt like, for a while. I mean, I understand that the teams ahead of them have been winning, but the way that they've just been dominating. I mean, there's got to say something for the eye test, the way the Huskers have been playing, and in the Big Ten at that. But yeah, they were deserving of it. You knew it was coming. And you know what's crazy, too, again, the players and coaches still saying that there's a lot of things they got to figure out and work on. And yet they're still dominating teams the way they are. So look out. Hey, keep peeking and find your best volleyball here in about a month, right?
That's the thing. And there's a little worry right now. Are they peaking too soon? But I don't get the sense that they are.
I don't think they are, because every time that you hear Coach talk after a game, he comes on his show, there's plenty that he's saying, hey, this was not good. Hey, we got to be much better in this. And, so they're finding, I mean, that's what's mind-blowing is, like, you watch them and you don't see it, but then and the players are buying into that too. They realize too, and they're taking on what coach is saying. No, this guy's got to be better, and we didn't do this well. And even in a sweep, they'll say, "Oh, well, we didn't do very well in this." So it's it's good. There's by no means are they satisfied, and I think. Again, they'll lock in, and if there's anybody that can get a team peaking at the right time, it's John Cook.
Well, and that's always the goal. Don't play your best now, play the. And this was a tough month. This was a travel month. This is where they've had all these road matches. It flips in November. They're home a ton in November, and so they finished kind of the road swing Wednesday night at Wisconsin. There's a lot of turmoil around the Badgers program. We haven't caught a lot of wind of it down here, but it's been a huge story in Madison. There was a locker room picture that revealed some female body parts that got out last week. The athletic department put out a big statement. They managed to win Saturday night. That was the first time that they'd played since all of that blew up. But they're dealing with a lot.
Distractions.
They'll be fired up, though, with Nebraska coming to town on Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, that's always just a crazy rocking atmosphere, and it is when Wisconsin comes here and when Nebraska goes there. It's just one of those matches. I know that Husker fans sell out every one, but it's one of those ones when you get the schedule, you look at. And for Wisconsin fans, you get the schedule, you look to see when Nebraska comes to town. So it's going to be, huge. And for a team that's dealing and needing some positivity, they're going to come out and try to get something rolling, and they'll be motivated for sure. And
the Huskers go into that game knowing they have not been able to get over the Wisconsin hump the last couple of years. Badgers have had their number. They beat us 3 times last year, including the national championship match in Columbus, Ohio. So for a lot of the Huskers, for whoever it may be, with Nicklin Hames or Matty Kubik or just going down the line, they all badly want to beat Wisconsin. You know
what's a little crazy too? I heard Coach Cook talking on his show the other day about how when they go to quiet arenas on the road, it's a little bit harder for them because they're so used to it being so loud here. But has there been a really, really hostile environment that they've been to yet?
Purdue's pretty good.
Okay.
And Illinois can be, but they're not as playing as well, so I don't know that. But Purdue's usually pretty good.
So you got some freshmen
That have not played.
at Wisconsin, which is one of the most hostile environments that they're going to go to. So that'll be interesting, too, to see how some of those young players handle that.
Don't you think Becca Alec will eat that for breakfast?
Oh, yeah.
That's probably right up her alley. She's like, more. Give me more.
And again, it's for a team that they're so used to the rowdy atmospheres because of what they get at home, and it's been a challenge for some of the quiet arenas, so that won't be a problem.
Right.
Though I always find it fascinating when you talk to athletes and the ones that are really that like playing on the road because they thrive on that. It really motivates them. It's just something about being on the road and your back's against the wall, and it's that negativity just fuels them, And so some athletes are wired that way to where they kind of embrace playing on the road even more so than they do at home.
Becca Alec named, Tim had this in the ticker as well, a Freshman of the Week. Second time she's gotten that honor. We will have a little bit of the latest podcast. It's going to drop tomorrow. Kicking Back with the Cooks. We'll have that for you in hour number 2. Also, Husker basketball had their one home exhibition game yesterday against Chadron State. You had the call on BTN+. I love the fight. I love the effort of this team. They're going to have to shoot it better than that, but I think that may be an issue all year long, but they're going to play hard, I think, all 40 minutes.
I thought, and Eric Strickland and I talked about this on the broadcast a little bit, and even during commercial breaks, as there were times last year that I felt like this team took bad shots or forced shots. There wasn't those 3 points that were missed weren't bad looks. So you got to think those are going to go in a little bit, and especially C.J. Wilcher. He's proven he can shoot the ball. He didn't shoot it well. Casey didn't shoot it well. So I think there were some players that absolutely are going to shoot it better. But, boy, they lock in defensively. Emmanuel Bandell is he's going to make guards' nightmares a lot of times when he's facing up against them. And Juwan Gary, you love the effort and energy on the defensive end. And that effort, if they play like that, it's going to keep them in some games.
And I like Juwan Gary coming off the bench.
I do too.
That energy just flying in there 4, 5, 6 minutes into a game.
Well, and what's crazy too, they came out of the half and didn't have a good start to the half, and we were talking about that, Eric Strickland and I on the broadcast, about, boy, they got to find something to get going, call the timeout, go to the media timeout. And I was like, well, maybe they'll turn to Juwan Gary because that's what got it going in the first half. And sure enough, here comes Juwan Gary. And so I think, and we'll see, it was one game. But, yeah, it's like you need a spark to get going, let's get this guy going off the bench. And so, yeah, that's a huge, huge weapon to have somebody that can come in like that and give you a lift. And seems like he really embraces that role, too.
Eric Strickland's hard to get along with, isn't he?
He's so nice. We had fun.
He's a good guy.
And he knows the game so well. He brings a great perspective to it. And even when we were just talking, during breaks and stuff, some of the things that he sees, and he's played so much basketball and at the highest level. So, yeah, he was a lot of fun.
He's got great stories about guarding Michael Jordan. Guarded Kobe Bryant. He was such a great defensive player in the NBA, but he's back. He moved back to the States, so it's good to have him back, and it's great that we're able to take advantage and tap into his knowledge.
Yeah, it's because, he liked the defensive emphasis, and he loved Emmanuel Bandell and how he was playing. But, yeah, it was fun to call that game. So we'll look forward to doing, I think we got 3 more left. And so what's crazy is John Higgins is just,
Mr. referee, yeah.
He refs everywhere, every conference. He's got the
nice hair.
The locks.
Yeah.
If you watch college basketball at all, you know who this guy is. And so he came over pregame and was talking about, I used to call your high school games. It's like, oh my goodness, wow. So he's talking about reffing Eric Strickland in high school. So it's some funny stories.
That's good. So we'll hear from Emmanuel Bandumel coming up in hour number 2 of tonight's program as well. So a full plate of things for you to talk about. If you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text, the phone numbers, you know them, 402-413-2400. That is our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com with 18 brands. And then a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. More of the show coming up, including Jeremiah Searles, his weekly podcast, his thoughts about Husker football, straight ahead.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Bank of the West is offering the first checking account designed for climate action. It gives back 1% of the account's net revenue to the planet at no cost to you. Shows you the estimated carbon impact of debit card purchases. And there's no minimum balance required. Learn more at bankofthewest.com/1%. Additional conditions apply. Member FDIC.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Webster comes the other way. Looks, surveys the court, gives to Tominaga, steps into a three. It's on the way. Got it! Bang! A ring! Tominaga hits a three.
Hey, Huskers fans, tomorrow, join us for Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we sit down with Nebraska men's basketball head coach Fred Hoiberg for his first radio show of the season. And Hour 2 will break down the latest Nebraska football practice report from Mickey Joseph. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit FMNE.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy, from repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network broadcast center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. It's a Monday edition of Sports High. So glad to be back with you after the bye week and getting ready now for the Fighting Illini, who will be here for a 2:30 game on Saturday. Let's head to the phones. We'll go to Grant Otta and Debbie. You're up next on Sports High. Good evening. Debbie, you there? Well,
did you push the one? There we go. Hello?
Debbie? Well, we'll put her back on. Maybe we can get her on later in the program. So, all right, Jeremiah Searles, you had a chance to sit down with him earlier this week, or earlier today.
Today, yeah. So previewing Illinois, because we did a bye week episode, so we used the bye week to break down all we saw it produce. So we really dove into Illinois and got into all of that. So here is a portion of this week's Sideline Slice with Jeremiah Searles, presented by Valentino's Pizza. Illinois coming in 6-1, 3-1 in conference play, so on top of the Big Ten West standings, but it's all jumbled up. I mean, it is still anybody's ball game. It's still a lot of football left to be played and anybody's game, and so it's who's going to go take it. When you talk about Illinois, though, you got to start with the defense. Number one, not in the Big Ten, not just in the Big Ten, but also in the nation, in scoring defense and total defense. What have you seen out of the Illini defensively?
I mean, they're holding opponents to less than like 9 points a game.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're holding opponents to single digits, you're going to win a ton of football games. You know, I think last week we were talking about, hey, Purdue and Nebraska, it's going to be a race to 30, right? Like, and it ended up being almost a race to 40. With this game, it might be we might only score 21, and that would be really good against this defense. You know, so when you talk about Illinois' defense, the number one thing that I look at is their third down percentage. They're only allowing teams to convert 26% on third down, which is that's a very good percentage to live in. You know, I think Nebraska's offense has been fairly good when we get ourselves in third and manageable, but I think the number one thing that this Illinois defense is going to do is try and get us behind the sticks, push us into 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 9 and 3rd and 10, into those obvious passing situations where they can pin their ears back and come after you, because that's what they want to do. You know, so first and second down for the Husker offense this week is going to be extremely and critically important so that we can avoid that. But, I mean, Illinois' defense, they're physical, they fly around to the football, and they're ball hawks, too.
So last game against Purdue, they saw something that they felt like Trey Palmer could really take advantage of the matchup with Trey Palmer, and they did that, obviously. And so have you studied much in the secondary, Illinois secondary, that could be a matchup that the Huskers take advantage of again, or do you think maybe now teams are going to start trying to take Trey Palmer out of this?
You know what I think Illinois is going to do, watching them, I think that they're going to play more shell coverage on the back end and try and say, hey, run the football on us. You know, I know we have Anthony Grant, who's a fantastic talent, but I think that they're going to say, hey, front five, right? Their D linemen, their linebacking core, front six. They're saying, hey, we're not going to have safeties down and run support for you. We're going to bracket over there over Trey Palmer. We're going to leave a deep safety in the middle of the field, and we're going to say, run it at us. You know, give them a favorable box, and then they're just going to say, our guys are better than your guys up front. And that's how you stop Trey Palmer, is you make it so that we are being basically dared to run the football, and then they can stop us. Now, on the flip side of that, Husker offensive line, Husker tight ends got to say, all right, you want to give us favorable boxes, we're going to have Anthony Grant have a field day on the ground. You know, so I think that that's how they're going to try and stop them. They're going to play shell coverage on the back end, and then they're going to really just try and rely on guys on their front seven to win their one-on-one matchups.
23 sacks, 12 interceptions by that Illinois defense. What do you see in how they're able to get to the quarterback? Is it anything fancy they're doing? Are they just winning matchups? What have you seen in that regard?
You know, it goes back to my first point of their third down conversions. They get people in obvious passing situations, and then they let their pass rushers turn loose. You know, I don't think there's any secret sauce to how they're getting to the quarterback. They don't have some super elaborate blitzing plan. You know, what they do is they just line up and they win. And when you're forcing guys to sit back there and hold on to the ball, and you don't have to send pressure because they're winning with only 4 or 5, then that allows you to sit back on the end and play coverage, you know, which is how you get the interceptions, is that you have pressure on the quarterback and force him to throw one where he shouldn't. So, you know, there's no secret to it. They're going to challenge our tackles. You know, our tackles the last few weeks have struggled at times with Hunter Anthony in there and Turner Corcoran moving back out to left. And, you know, they're going to be challenged off the edges. So it's a great challenge for these guys to rise to. But I think that how you slow something like down, like we've talked about every week, Jessica, is just getting that quick passing game in rhythm and staying ahead of the sticks.
What have you seen out of Chase Brown? The Illinois running back leads the Big Ten. Again, one of the best running backs statistically in the nation. It's going to be a fun matchup between one of the best, or the best wide receiver in Trey Palmer and the best running back in Chase Brown, statistically #1 in the Big Ten.
Yeah, you know, Chase Brown has fantastic vision as he's running through the hole, you know, but he's also a guy that has no problem turning a 1-yard gain into 4 by just putting his head down and running into the pile. And those are the running backs that I just respect so much. You know, so many times running backs are always looking for the home run hit, and they'll bounce it outside and make a gain of 1 into a loss of 2 or whatever. Like, he understands what this offense is, and Brett Bielema has done this with his backs forever and always, which is like, you know, if there's 1 there, put your head down and make it 2, and then eventually those start turning into 4, into 6, and then those are the things that open up. And he embodies the Brett Bielema style of running the football. He is a physical runner, but he also has the speed to take on the top end, and tackling is going to be in space is going to be really important this week. You know, Miles Farmer and the DB crew, you have to come up and run support, put your nose in there, and wrap this guy up, because he's fantastic on not letting first contact take him to the ground. You know, so getting him on the ground is going to be a big thing. But he's one of the best backs in the Big Ten because of his vision, his athleticism, and he's a whole package. I mean, he's an NFL caliber running back, and he's a guy that wants to make you miss in space. So rallying to the football on defense, making sure all 11 hats are running the ball, and the guy that gets a shot, making sound fundamental tackles on him is going to be pivotal in getting him stopped.
What about the quarterback, Tommy DeVito, transfers from Syracuse? It's a lot of talk about Chase Brown, but he's been solid too. 10 passing touchdowns, just 2 interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, he's not asked to do a whole lot, so that helps. You know, when you have a running game that's doing as well as that is, you just really can keep yourself in really easy passing situations. You know, they're not asking him to drop back 50, 60 times a game. If he throws the ball 18 to 20 times, that's probably a career day for the kid. You know, so they're really relying on that run game. But what he's done a great job at is managing the games. You know, he's managing when to take his shots, when to use the play action to his advantage, when to get out of the pocket a little bit and stretch the defense. But the biggest thing is he just hasn't turned the football over. You know, if you don't turn the football over as a quarterback and you have a fantastic run game, you put yourself in position majority of the time in the fourth quarter to go win the football game. So, you know, he's done a really good job with that. He's going to continue to do a good job with that. With that being said, we've done a nice job the last few weeks of taking the football away. So we can stop, if we can get them stopped on 1st and 2nd down and put him in 3rd and long and make him throw the football a ways and a distance that he's not super comfortable with all the time, that's when I think we can maybe steal possession from these guys. You
like the Illinois offensive line?
They're okay. You know, I think they're all right. There's a couple NFL players on there. Julian Pearl's one of them. Their center's a young up-and-comer who might have a chance to show in the NFL. You know, so when you have 2 guys in the NFL that are, or 2 guys on your offensive line that are NFL potentials, that always helps. You know, but their scheme isn't fancy. Their scheme isn't something that they're not trying to out-scheme anything. The thing that they do, and I respect out of their offensive line, is they're physical and they're tough. And they just run off the football. You know, it doesn't always look pretty. It doesn't always look great, but they're just going to continually run off the football over and over again and eventually try and make some holes.
So do you think it's more credit than to Chase Brown, what he's been doing because of the missed tackles and the yards after contact, than it is what the offensive line is doing?
Yeah, you know, I think that the offensive line is doing as much as they can, and then the special part and the speciality of what Chase Brown is doing with the ball in his hands is what makes it so special. You know, you think of a guy like Braylon Allen last year with Wisconsin. Like, that Wisconsin offensive line wasn't great last year, and all of a sudden Braylon Allen showed up, and I was like, oh, everyone's great again. You know, like, having a special back can make a marginally to good offensive line look excellent. You know, so I think there's a little bit of that going on with, it's a good offensive line, don't get me wrong, but they're not out there lighting the world on fire. But because of what Brown's able to do with the ball in his hands, they're looking pretty good.
So how, you kind of talked about it a little bit, how do you contain Chase Brown? What's the key to that?
You know, I think we're going to have to commit extra guys into the box to stop the run, you know, and I don't love that necessarily, putting our DBs on islands, but like I said, when that's all they want to do, we have to commit to stop it, you know. So that means dropping safeties in the box. That means maybe playing Kolarvik and Ernest Hausman in a 3 linebacker set sometimes if they want to line up in their big sets. And, you know, it's fun. You can say do all this, but at the end of the day, it's guys just winning up front one-on-one. It's Ty Robinson. It's Nash Hutchmaker. It's Feast. It's those dudes winning their one-on-one matchups and being disruptive. You know, don't allow a new line of scrimmage to get set on your side of the football. You create the new line of scrimmage on their side of the football, right? I told you, these guys love to run off the football and just create new line of scrimmage. It's your job to get penetration and be disruptive, and don't let these linemen double team you up to the linebacker. You know, hold those guys up. And it's going to be a great test because our depth will be tested when a team that runs the football this much and has this much time of possession. You can't have a guy that just plays every snap. So you're going to see a lot of guys get in there, and I'd love to see, coming off the bye week, maybe who's made some strides, who's a young guy that's come out there and ready to contribute and ready to put good 10 to 15 plays on tape and do something to help this defense win. You know, so it's going to be really fun to see those guys go up there and do it. But again, it's committing guys to the box, guys win their one-on-ones, and then you have to tackle. You just have to tackle. If you have an opportunity to get this guy on the ground, wrap him up, drive your feet, see what you're hitting, and put them on the ground.
It's kind of nice, I would think, as a player, you know what Illinois is going to try to do, right? I mean, it's not like Purdue came in and they throw it around a lot and they went to the run game a lot there in that first half up there at Purdue, but you know what Illinois is going to try to do.
It's a blessing and a curse, because you're absolutely right. You're like, yeah, we know what you're going to do, but the problem is if you can't stop it, it's really, really hard. And I've been in games where, like, we knew what this defense was going to do. We're like, they do this, and then all of a sudden they're doing what you knew exactly what they were going to do, and they're still beating you, and you're like, oh, crap, we knew this was going to happen. You know, but if you can have a game plan and execute a game plan to stop what they do and make them pivot, right? Put yourself on the other side of that, where Illinois is coming like, hey, this is what we do, and we're going to do it, and all of a sudden 2 quarters in, they're like, this ain't working. And they now have to pivot at halftime and make the adjustments. That's where you want to be as a defense. So, yeah, it's great that we know what we're going to do, but at the end of the day, even if you know what the play is being called, you still have to be able to walk up there and stop what they're doing.
All right, we do this every week, but 2 players that have to have a good game, your players to watch.
You know, Ty Robinson on defense is the guy that I'm going to be looking at, because he has to be a disruptive force. He's come along in the last few weeks as being a lot better. I think he's a guy that you have to make sure is having 5 or 6 tackles and maybe 2 or 3 TFLs in this game and putting pressure on the quarterback in the times that he can. But those guys in the middle are going to be the big ones on defense that have to show up. So I'm looking at Ty Robinson to have a big day on that end. And then I'm looking at Anthony Grant on the offensive side of the ball to have a big day. You know, I'm looking for this run game to get going so that we can try and flip that time of possession on Illinois and us control the tempo, us dictate the tempo of the game, and not allow Illinois to run their offense, do their thing, and then the defense to come out and get rest and all that. I want Nebraska to take the run game to this team and really control the tempo for this entire game.
All right, so 3 keys for a Husker victory.
Yeah, number 1 is take care of the football. You know, this is a team that you can't allow to steal possessions on you. If you can take care of the football, you'll give yourself a chance. And number 2 is, like I just said, getting the run game started for the Husker offense. You know, the passing game's been great, but when you do something as well as that, any good defensive coordinator that's worth their salt is going to take that away from you. I would expect them to try and take Trey Palmer away from us early in this football game. That means we got to get to the run game and get those safeties to come back into the box for run support to allow Trey Palmer to open up on the outside. And then the last thing, I think special teams is going to be really important in this game. Flipping the field position, you know, just continuing to make them go the distance and trying to get us better field position, you know. So if we can get a long return in a punt or a kickoff return and give ourselves a short field against this stellar defense, that's awesome. But more importantly, make the Illinois offense go the long way, right? Don't give them a chance and punt it at the 40 or the 50, you know. Pin them inside the 10, pin them inside the 20. Make them go the distance against Memorial Stadium and that student section and the loud and the craziness that it is, and just wait for them to make a mistake, you know. So those 3 things, I think if you can handle that, we'll give ourselves a chance to beat this team.
So there is a little small portion, I guess, a half portion of this week's Sideline Slice with Searles. The full episode out now on podcast platforms, also on our YouTube. So check it out now. And again, the Sideline Slice presented by Valentino's Pizza, the official pizza of the Huskers.
That's sweet. I need to ask Jeremiah where he got his headphones. I want some of those.
You like those headphones?
I do like them.
You like his new basement setup? You know he got moved to the basement.
Yeah, he got
Did y'all
kicked
talk
out.
about that last week?
No, we didn't talk about it.
So it was on the podcast. I didn't know if it was part of the part that they played on the show, but baby number 3 on the way for Searles family. So they are converting that office into a nursery. So he had to move down to the basement.
Good.
So
that's all right.
Yeah, he likes it. He said his kids are getting to the age where they are kind of nosy and want to, come into the office. So he said it's been a good move.
He likes cold areas anyway,
Yes, he
right?
does.
So that's perfect for him.
He does. He likes it cold, and we are completely opposite in that way.
Yeah, good for Jeremiah. Hey, buckle up, folks, and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Let's try to chat with Debbie out in Grand Island again. Good evening, Debbie. Well, we're just still having an issue with Debbie. So we'll try. Debbie, hang on. We'll try to get that figured out. We do need to take a quick break here. Time to tell you that our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. More of the show coming up next.
Woodhouse Ford is your certified Ford dealer, serving drivers throughout Nebraska for 47 years. Our commitment to our customers continues well beyond the date of purchase. You will leave our lot feeling comfortable and confident in your new vehicle. Customers have been relying on Woodhouse Ford since 1975 for high-quality vehicles, knowledgeable staff, and exceptional service. Experience the Woodhouse Ford difference and shop at one of our 3 locations in-store or online at woodhouseford.com.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Webster comes the other way. Looks, surveys the court, gives to Tominaga, steps into a 3. It's on the way. Got it! Bang! Tominaga hits a 3.
Hey, Huskers fans, tomorrow, join us for Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we sit down with Nebraska men's basketball head coach Fred Hoiberg for his first radio show of the season. In Hour 2, we'll break down the latest Nebraska football practice report from Mickey Joseph. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Nebraska Innovation Campus creates partnerships between business and the University of Nebraska. Partners lease office space, laboratories, pilot plants, and greenhouses, all centrally located with easy access to University of Nebraska talent and resources. Nebraska Innovation Campus, creating spaces and culture that inspire. Learn more at innovate.unl.edu.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimate CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS.
Beardmore Subaru celebrates Nebraska volleyball again this season. 5 national championships, 47 All-Americans, and a home sellout streak dating back to 2001. The longest streak for any women's sport in NCAA history. Beardmore Subaru has been a proud supporter of Husker volleyball for more than 10 years. Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the new Subaru Outback Wilderness, loaded with off-road ready upgrades, and the new Solterra, Subaru's first ever all-electric and all-wheel drive vehicle. Go Big Red.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Welcome back. It is a Monday night Sports Nightly here on the Huskers Radio Network. 402-413-2400. That's the number to dial us up with a comment or question, or fire off a text. Let's go to the phones. Head out to North Platte. Jim, you're up next. Good evening, Jim. And I don't think Jim can hear us either. So
we're having phone issues.
We're having some phone issues tonight, folks. We apologize for that. We'll get working on that. Do have time to tell you to go visit a participating AGCO dealer between now and November the 4th and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Wisconsin football game in Lincoln on November the 19th, plus pregame tailgate parties. Go see participating AGCO locations across Nebraska, and you could be a winner this season. Interesting weekend of college football. Some really good games. Clemson got pushed, had to go to the bench, change quarterbacks to pull out to stay undefeated in their season. You had a great game. TCU, Kansas State. Adrian Martinez got hurt, I guess.
Yeah, I saw just a report on Twitter actually recently that it could a knee injury, it sounds like, so he might be questionable this week.
Started the game, played like the first 4 plays. They had to punt, and then he didn't come back.
You know
Weird.
what's crazy? So that Fox crew doesn't have a sideline reporter. And so they didn't know. It was Spencer Tillman and Tim Brando.
Yep.
Yeah, and so
it's one of their bigger crews.
Yes, and they don't have a sideline on that. So they were kind of speculating as to what happened. So they didn't have eyes on what was going on. So I don't think they knew for a while, but he never came back in.
Game Day had a big piece on Adrian.
Yeah, he did. And he had
I thought it was pretty good.
I did too. And, and he took a lot of responsibility, but he admitted to how hard it was. Sometimes he didn't want to leave the apartment or his house because of, again, it's a lot of pressure to be a quarterback anywhere, but it's a lot of pressure to be a quarterback at Nebraska and programs like this. And, this is, it means so much to this state and this program, and they want to win. And so he talked about it was hard, and he had to battle through a lot. But I'm glad he's found success. I think everybody wanted him, and both ways, both parties, and he wants Nebraska to win. And he's very close to a lot of guys still in the program, on this team, and I know that he still communicates. So I think he absolutely, there's no doubt in my mind, Adrian wants to see Nebraska have success.
Yeah, I don't think there's a bitterness at all toward Nebraska, and I think he owned. Hey, I made mistakes playing up there. I thought it was a really, and I would not expect anything less.
No,
very
absolutely
mature
not.
approach from Adrian.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, and he's a good guy. He's got a good heart, and it just didn't work. And at the end, both parties needed to change, and it's worked out well for him. I hope the injury is not serious, but again, that's kind of the story with Adrian, right? Just has some issues staying healthy, but he's tough and fights through it. So we'll see.
Samori Toure had his first NFL catch yesterday. How cool is that?
That's awesome.
Good for him.
Not surprised. I mean, that was a great place for him to land, and so good for him.
And he was involved. The Packers had the ball for the last play of the game, and they were trying one of those lateral their way down the field, and Samori got involved in the goofy lateral game, and then they threw it across field to an offensive lineman, and one of our guys goes, "That looks like that'd be like Jeremiah trying to catch that pass." Rolling through the guy's legs out of bounds.
Wow, that's an insult to Samori, right?
Well, they were poking at Jeremiah. It looked like Jeremiah trying to catch that thing over there.
Well, yeah, no, and it's just crazy just to think about his story of, he got cut from his high school team, wasn't recruited, didn't have any scholarship offers, didn't even have, I think he had a partial scholarship offer, had to walk on. Then, just the way he just kept fighting and fighting every step along the way, and to see it paying off for him, I'm so happy for him.
And Bryce McGowan's scored his first NBA bucket last night.
That was awesome.
Good for him. Yeah, Bryce.
Are you giving us a preview of Andrew's weekend winner?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it is.
Yeah, they're laughing. I knew it. I knew it.
Sure it is. It's something probably NBA like. That's all he's got. It's the only trick he has in his bag.
Basketball,
Is the NBA.
And I wonder, he can bust out his hoodie now again. His McGowan's brothers, now that it's getting cold.
I'm sure he did. Well, I'm surprised he didn't have it on today. Hey, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We're having trouble with our phones, but our text line should work for you. 402-413-2400. We're back to wrap up hour one next.
Touchdown, Nebraska! If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more. Got it! Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
It's time again for some Nebraska farm facts. For Nebraska soybean farmers, sustainability is a way of life. 97% of farms are family-owned, and 95% are participating in conservation programs and using sustainable practices. And they have significant sustainability goals by 2025. 10% more energy efficiency, 10% less land, and 25% less soil erosion. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
We're back inside the Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Time to see what is on tap, presented by Bud Light. Husker Volleyball will be up in Madison, Wisconsin to take on the Badgers. Top 10 matchup on Wednesday night, 8 o'clock first serve, 7:30 for pregame coverage here on the Huskers Radio Network. Husker football will take on the Fighting Illini Saturday at 2:30. That means our Husker game day begins at 10:30 with Ben McLaughlin and Damon Benning. And then we'll have a double header of Husker basketball on Sunday. The women will have their lone exhibition game. They'll take on Washburn at 1 o'clock at PBA on Sunday, 12:45 for pregame. And then the men are out in Boulder for a charity contest with the Colorado Buffaloes, 5 o'clock tip, 4 o'clock for pregame coverage. And then Husker soccer making the Big Ten tournament for the first time since 2018. We'll get to host Ohio State Sunday. They have not yet announced the start time. It should be in the afternoon on Sunday out at Hibner Stadium. The weather should be great. And so congratulations to John Walker and the Husker soccer squad. They are get the number 4 seed in the conference tournament, which gets going on Sunday. And that's what's on tap, presented by Bud Light.
We heard today that they're going to have a lot of special promotions out there, too. They're going to try to get students free tickets, hot dogs, $2 hot dogs, $2 popcorn and pop. I mean, it's going to be and when Andrew went out there the last home game, he said it was lit.
Yeah.
And so hopefully it's lit again on Sunday.
Yeah. I don't, is that the word you used? Was it lit?
You said lit. Electric.
Okay.
But
same thing. I would go with lit. See, because I'm cooler. I'd go lit. He said electric. I'd go. Weather forecast is good. Sunday 64, sunny. Perfect day to go watch some Husker soccer on the pitch out there this weekend.
Greg's got the lingo down.
We've got coaches shows coming out our ears this week. We got 4 of them.
This time of year is just crazy. But I love it when all the coaches are coming in here. You get to see them a lot.
Yeah, it is good to see.
So,
men's show tomorrow night. Fred Hoiberg will be here at 6. We'll have the women's show with Amy Williams Wednesday night at 6. We'll then have a doubleheader of shows Thursday, John Cook at 6. And then our football show, we believe, will be Barrett Ruud at 7 o'clock on Thursday night. Barrett's got his work cut out for him. Maybe get an update on Nick Henrich. We may get that update tomorrow from Mickey Joseph at the press conference. I don't think it's going to be good.
About Nick? Well, because the depth chart came out and he's not on it.
That's God.
But Luke is, so that's hopeful.
2 injuries to Nick this year.
Yeah, and hate it for him.
Wow.
Such a good guy. I did mention this after the last game, how much he was trying to keep his guy from getting down, because it can be detrimental when a leader goes down like that.
Chris Kolarvik is going to be big.
Yes, he will be.
Going to have to play a lot right now at that inside backer position for the Huskers. And this game, the next 2 games, really actually the next 5, you got to play. Your inside backers are going to be around the football. These pound 'em football teams coming up, starting with Illinois. Time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. 1 hour down, a whole another hour to go.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? you might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Webster comes the other way. Looks, surveys the court, gives to Tominaga, steps into a three. It's on the way. Got it! Bang! A ring! Tominaga hits the three.
Hey, Huskers fans, tomorrow, join us for Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we sit down with Nebraska men's basketball head coach Fred Hoiberg for his first radio show of the season. And Hour 2 will break down the latest Nebraska football practice report from Mickey Joseph. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red. Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
Get a Hy-Vee Plus Premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. For a limited time, get $50 off an annual Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG. That's right, get $50 off a Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG.
With the GoCurrency.com sports ticker, I'm Tim Mulhaupt on the Huskers Radio Network. Welcome into a new week, Huskers fans. A new week and a new ranking for the Huskers as Nebraska Volleyball enters the week back atop the AVC rankings following another two-sweep week of work that also saw Texas and Louisville each lose one match apiece. Key member of the Huskers' success last week and throughout the season, freshman Becca Alec was named Big Ten Freshman of the Week for the second consecutive week. Alec averaged 3.17 kills per set and hit a .548 hitting percentage in sweeps over Purdue and Illinois. Huskers volleyball now has won 6 straight sweeps and 19 consecutive sets, each a program best since Nebraska joined the Big Ten. They'll face the greatest test to date this week, taking on Wisconsin in Madison Wednesday night. Coverage of the national championship rematch begins right here on the Huskers Radio Network at 7 p.m. And congratulations to Huskers soccer, who after a big win over Penn State last week has earned a berth and a home game to open the Big Ten postseason tournament. They'll host Ohio State this Saturday up at Hibner Stadium. The official start time is still to be determined, so we'll keep you posted on that one. You can always check Huskers.com as well. In pro sports tonight in the NFL, some breaking news in Hour 1. The Jacksonville Jaguars traded running back James Robinson to the New York Jets, who lost Breece Hall for the season yesterday. The compensation is a 6th-round draft pick that could conditionally turn into a 5th-round draft pick. So James Robinson heading to the Jets to try to get a workhorse rollback. And as well, tonight in the NFL, Monday Night Football just about set to get started in just under 10 minutes. Chicago Bears are in Foxborough to take on the Patriots. Mac Jones is expected to return after missing several games with a high ankle sprain. And despite the stellar play of rookie backup Bailey Zappi from Western Kentucky, who has been stellar for the Patriots in his absence. In the NBA, just underway, the Spurs are in Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves. And at 9 p.m., the Nuggets headed up to Portland to take on Damian Lillard and the undefeated Trailblazers. And in the NHL, 2 games to watch. Just about to drop the puck, Sidney Crosby and the Penguins battle Connor McDavid and the Oilers. And at 9 p.m., it's a potential Stanley Cup matchup with the Vegas Golden Knights hosting the Toronto Maple Leafs. This update is presented by Currency. Currency makes financing quick, easy, and secure for heavy machinery, ag equipment, trucks, trailers, and more. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Well, under center goes Casey Thompson. Yantha deep back. They turn, give it off to Jock. Left side. Leans. He's in. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Ask and ye shall receive. After the second attempt, Griesel in transition, leaves his feet, the trailer, and a dunk with a right hand off the feet from Sam Griesel. It's Jawan Gary.
Woo! Jessica Coody serves. Good pass. Huskers quick attack. Kaboom! Kaylin Horde, great connection with Nicklin Hames. It's 11-6. Big Red set one.
That is the best connection I have seen between Nicklin Hames and Caitlin Horde so far this season.
Here's Sam driving, and he stops it with a right hand. And there, my friends, is a tremendous hit right there.
Hitting tips. No. Now Nebraska feeds outside. And Maddie full swing down. Kaboom! All the tipping. Until Maddie decided enough of that. This is not a restaurant.
Tip try by Gary. Missed it. Put back up and in, and Gary draws the foul as well. How about Dawson and Gary owning the offensive glass?
The dynamic duo right there. Casey turns, hands it off to Grant, pushes his way near the goal line. Touchdown, Nebraska! And it's a 7-point game.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Just heard a new JB-ism. Tippy, this is not a restaurant. It's pretty good.
I'd love to know, like, when he comes up with some of those, like, if it's like
on his long bike rides, he's got a lot of time to think.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he obviously does a lot of studying and helping kids get ready for ACT, so he's probably like constantly thinking words and all that kind of. So I just would love to know if it's like, oh, that would be fun to use, or if it's just spontaneous in the moment.
That Stanford education of John Baylor. I told you, I feel like when I listen to John, I feel like he's swirling a glass of wine right there. Here we go.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. So when I was talking to him about the ACT prep thing, and I said, he was asking me about my ACT. I was like, oh, yeah, I got a 28. I had a perfect score in English, and my reading was good, but I did terrible. I only got like my math and science score brought it down, and he's like, yeah, you could have used my ACT prep. I'm like, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Oh, goodness. All right, big hour coming up here. We're going to talk some Husker basketball. They opened yesterday. We're going to hear from Emmanuel Bandell here in just a little bit. They have another exhibition game. It'll be Sunday in Boulder against Colorado, and then it gets going for real. So we're going to hear from Emmanuel here in a little bit. Also, another episode of Kicking Back with the Cooks is going to drop tomorrow, but we've got the sneak preview coming your way here tonight. Lauren and John will talk. Who knows? It could be about, but you never know with those two what it's going to be about.
I know. You never know what they're going to get into, so can't wait.
Well, let's talk hoops. You called the game yesterday. Huskers win 87-60. It was far from perfect, but that's what you should expect in an opening game. And I think Coach Hoiberg, it was really important to him to get everybody into the game, and he did.
Yeah, and they still scored a lot of points and didn't shoot it well. So I think that's a good sign too. But going to be very, very hard-nosed on the defensive end, and so I think it's going to be a fun team to watch. And just with Sam Griesel, I was so impressed with him, and we kept hearing about his pace of play. He doesn't get sped up, but yet he pushes it when they want to push it, and so it's just, I think it's going to be a really fun brand of basketball to watch. But as far as the defensive effort goes, really it starts with Emanuel Bandell, and he really sets the tone. He takes pride in that. And so thought it'd be fun to hear this interview with him. And such a nice guy and has so much experience playing college basketball, grad transfer. So I chatted with him before the first exhibition game. So here is Emanuel Bandell.
I mean, pretty much ready. I think it's like it's a whole season type of preparation, but at the same time, I think we're ready for the very first game. And I think everybody on the same page as much as being prepared for the game, being prepared for the season. As much as the freshmen, the guys off the bench, the guys on the starting five. I think we all and we all know what's the mission and what we got to accomplish this year. So everybody's pretty much excited about it.
Yeah, we talked to you right when you first got here. You hadn't done hardly anything with this team. So now that you've gone through preseason, you are a seasoned vet at this deal. How do you feel like this team has gelled and come together so far up to this point?
I mean, I think that's the best I've seen so far in my whole career. I think I think the whole team, all 15 guys, 16 of us, we all gel together. We actually genuinely love each other and looking out for each other, especially on the court. I think that's coming up big, and when we face adversity and all, that togetherness and that oneness of we all the team, we all in this together, and we trust each other, and this is the best that I've seen. So I'm pretty confident about this team. Yeah.
It seems like a lot of team guys that are willing to do whatever this team needs. I know you said that from the start. You can do a lot of different things on the court. So what do you feel like this team is going to need from you?
I mean, pretty much a lot of everything, but me first being a leader for them defensively. I think that's one thing that we worked on all summer and that we still working on. And, I'm a defensive guy, so that's the one thing that I'll make sure that we're on the same page, all of us, and I'll dictate with my energy, me picking up full court, dictating the tone and all. And that's what I bring to the table mostly. The rest can take care of itself because we got a lot of tools on that team. But defensively, I pride myself of making sure that we're on the same page.
Yeah, that's a word that's come up a lot from every player that I've talked to leading up to this point. So what does this team want to be defensively?
I mean, a pretty good, scrappy team, I think. Pretty good defensively, pretty good at doing rotations and all, because, we're like a team that want to scrap it with everybody. We're not the biggest team in the Big Ten. We're not the biggest in college in general. But I think with our guards and with our length, with Sammy G being 6'7" at the point and being the head of the sink, you can ask for better than that. And with me, with my length too, we got Juwan, who's he's fierce in defense. He loves to just apply pressure and makes the guards turn the ball over. And we got a lot of guys on there that just playing hard, and that's what we bring. I think that's what we gonna make sure that everybody face whenever it's game night.
Yeah, Derek was saying that it's the defense that's going to lead to a lot of offense. So is that an emphasis that, hey, we got to lock down defensively to make things happen on the offensive end? Yeah,
it starts on defense, it starts on, making sure that we can all be on the same page towards that. And the offense, we all got talented guys. You got Casey that shoots the ball like crazy right now. CJ, same thing. Like I said, Will too. So we got a lot of guys that can provide a lot of stuff on offense. But it's about getting that rebound and going to the other side of the end, because if we don't do our job, well, we won't get a lot of buckets. So it starts on defense, I think.
You mentioned Sammy G, and he just started playing point 3 years ago, which is crazy. What, besides his size, what makes him so good at that spot at the point?
I mean, it's just he got a really great feel for the game. He never gets sped up. He's always under control. He knows where to be on the court, the position and all of that. And he got actually. That's that one thing that I know about him and I see all the time when I play. He's like he attracts a lot of attention. So he plays with his eyes. He deceive a lot of the defense with the passing and all, with the lookaways. And I think that's one thing that he got to a T to me. So yeah.
Get a couple of tune-ups before you get this thing rolling. So what does this team need to accomplish in this first exhibition game coming up on Sunday?
I mean, it's just setting the tone for the season. I think we already got our standards. I mean, y'all can go through that with coach, but yeah, we already kind of have our standards, like, you know, up there, and we know what we need for every game, and we work at it in practice just to, like, you know, get a good feel of it and eyes to look during the game with our scrimmages and all of that. And you know, we got a pretty good pace on like what we're supposed to do, and like, you know, how will be able to accomplish it on Sunday. So we'll see. It's our real first test, so we'll see where we stand at, but I'm pretty confident. Yeah.
You know, with a lot of different pieces, it can be hard to get that chemistry going and a feel for how to play with each other on the court. But how much has the experience from yourself, from Derek Walker, from Sam? You got a lot of experience, guys. So how much has that helped speed along the process?
I think we understand of, like, you know, we're not alone in this. We understand that there's a lot of tools that can be used on this team, and we understand that everybody is needed to make sure that the machine is going, and, you know, we can make a lot of impact this year. And, you know, Sammy G, been around a lot. He knows basketball. Same thing for Derek Walker. We understand that we got to play off of each other, and it's going to make it easier for us to, like, you know, score, to find everybody else on the court, to make sure that everybody gets going. So I think with the experience we got of college basketball, we understand that pretty well, and we just about, like, you know, making sure that everybody eats at this point.
Love it. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate you.
He is so nice. I think he's really going to be a fan favorite around here. And
my favorite.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah. He's and he's just willing to do anything and everything, whatever he needs to do. If he needs to score, because he can score, but if he doesn't score a single point and has 8 rebounds and 3 assists and 2 steals, he'll be happy with that.
Well, he attempted 6 shots. He was 1 of 3 behind the line, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Going back to Sam, did you let me 7 assists, 2 turnovers?
Yes, yeah. And
that's fantastic.
Coach Hoiberg in his post game with Jake and Kent said 2 turnovers is a lot for him, that he doesn't turn it over. And so to have 2 turnovers will be more than what you typically see from Sam. But that, he said 7 to 2 will be, or
that's the ratio,
or less,
yeah,
will be the ratio.
That's great. I mean, you know, Emmanuel, 9 points on a day he didn't really shoot it much. I still think he's going to be one of the leading scorers on this team. We did not mention Gary Friday because we kicked that around. Who's going to lead this team in scoring? I don't know that he does that very often, but he plays so hard he's going to get easy buckets.
He's a defensive guy. He absolutely is a lockdown defender. He's an energy guy. He makes things happen on the defensive end. So I stand by, you know, again, and after watching them play, I think it could be a different leading scorer every night.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see it rotate, and it could be somebody different depending on the matchup. So I think you might have 5, 6 guys that average, you know, around that double-figure mark.
Derek Walker only attempts 3 shots.
But goes 3 for 3. He's 100%.
Right, but you know there's going to be games that he gets 8, 10 shots a game because
Yes.
they're going to go to him and get him more involved. All right,
Absolutely.
Good start. Love it, Emmanuel. I think fans are going to love because he's going to be the lead defender on this team, and he's going to make big shots too, I think, in critical points of the game.
You're never going to see him not give maximum effort. Like, you
Agreed.
will never have to question his effort.
What did you think of Blaze?
Blaze, I liked it. I thought he's going to help. I think, you know, he's green and he's got to improve in some areas, got to extend his range, but he's a problem inside. And he drew a couple of charges, which we had talked about last week, about how they track charges and practices, and he's the leader on the board. And so he got a couple there, and I think he's going to block a couple shots. But just having that big body that you can bring in off the bench at times when you need it in Big Ten play against bigger teams, I think he's going to help.
His big frame is going to help. He had 4 fouls in 13 minutes or so. I think he's going to battle some foul
Yes,
issues.
I think he is. But you know, he had a couple of putbacks on the offensive end, and so you know, I think he's going to provide some good minutes.
The rebounding, they out-rebounded, and I know it's Shattering, it's a Division II, but they rebounded by 15. They didn't do that very often at all last year.
No, and that's another one of those goals I was telling you about. Those defensive goals is to be win the rebound margin. And I loved how many offensive rebounds. Denham Dawson? He came flying out of nowhere, fighting for some offensive rebounds. And so, I think that's going to be a major area of improvement this year for this team.
All right, looking forward to this getting going. They go to Boulder again Sunday, and then 2 weeks. How about that? 2 weeks from tonight is the opener.
Yeah.
Both the men and women open 2 weeks from today. The women play at noon. The men play at 7 o'clock.
I love it when that happens. When there's
doubleheader.
Yes, all-day hoops.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. All right, 402-413-2400. We're having some issues with our phones, but our text line open and available if you want to jump on board with that here on the program tonight. When we come back, a little snippet of this month's edition of the Kicking Back with the Cooks. We'll have that for you next.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Sam Pineda with Campus News. Husker students on the debate team and Bateman competition public relations team earned national championships this past year, marking a first for each program. The debate team claimed victory with one of the youngest teams in the country, while the Bateman competition public relations team won their championship by building a PR campaign for the Lymphoma Research Foundation.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
Get your Ford your way at Woodhouse Ford. Completely customize your next vehicle and ensure that you are getting exactly what you're looking for. From cargo space to tires and even safety features, you can easily design a vehicle that meets all your needs. Plus, we make the process stress-free with 3 convenient locations and the ability to view all our inventory in one place at WoodhouseFord.com. You shouldn't have to settle, so start building your next vehicle at Woodhouse Ford today.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Webster comes the other way. Looks, surveys the court, gives to Tominaga, steps into a 3. It's on the way. Got it! Bang! Tominaga hits the 3.
Hey, Huskers fans, tomorrow, join us for Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we sit down with Nebraska men's basketball head coach Fred Hoiberg for his first radio show of the season. In Hour 2, we'll break down the latest Nebraska football practice report from Mickey Joseph. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red. Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Bank of the West is offering the first checking account designed for climate action.
It gives back 1% of the account's net revenue to the planet at no cost to you. Shows you the estimated carbon impact of debit card purchases. And there's no minimum balance required. Learn more at bankofthewest.com/1%. Additional conditions apply. Member FDIC.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Webster comes the other way. Looks, surveys the court, gives to Tominaga, steps into a three. It's on the way. Got it! Bang! A ring! Tominaga hits a three.
Hey, Huskers fans, tomorrow, join us for Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we sit down with Nebraska men's basketball head coach Fred Hoiberg for his first radio show of the season. In Hour 2, we'll break down the latest Nebraska football practice report from Mickey Joseph. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network broadcast center, it's sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. It's a Monday night. The Monday night football game is underway. A little foggy in Foxborough for the Patriots and the Bears. The Bears driving just 4 minutes into the game. The Bears and Patriots tonight in Monday Night Football. Well, tomorrow you can hear the entire monthly podcast, Kicking Back with the Cooks. John Cook with his daughter, Lauren Cook West. We thought we would play you a snippet of that tonight.
Give us a quick recap of the Big Ten season so far. Has it been better or worse than you expected?
And what do you mean better or worse?
Rewind to maybe July or August before the season started, and you're having your thoughts about what's going to transpire the upcoming season. Do you think that things have gone better or worse than what you originally thought was going to happen?
For Nebraska or?
For Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
For Nebraska Huskers, the team you coach for.
Yeah. You know, I don't know. I really didn't have much thought about that because the Big Ten's so unpredictable. It's so tough. You know, in July, I'm worried if we're ever going to win a Big Ten match. So that's where I'm at. But what I've seen in the Big Ten this year is, first of all, anybody can beat anybody. So, and for example, we go and beat Maryland, and everybody thinks, oh, it's Maryland, they haven't won a match. And I told my team in the locker room after Maryland, I go, watch out, we're going to have to play them again in Demaney, and watch out, this team's going to win some matches. And what do? The very last week, they go and beat Purdue 3-0 at Purdue, and 2 nights before that, I think they beat, was it Northwestern 3-0? So, and they were the last team, I think, to win a match in the Big Ten, but they're a very good team, and that just shows you where the Big Ten's at. And then you see Minnesota beats Wisconsin 3-0, then Minnesota loses to Northwestern 3-0. So I just think right now you're trying to play your best every night and find a way to win a match and survive, and it's very competitive, and so that's the biggest challenge, and that's what I was expecting. I think there was a lot of teams that we weren't sure how good they would be because of the transfer portal. That's the other game changer. How can you predict when you got all these transfers? You don't know how they're going to work out or how they're going to evolve, and again, Penn State's got a whole new team, and Purdue's got pretty much a new team, and they've had some huge wins, and so it's very unpredictable.
Why has there been so many injuries or illnesses this season?
For us?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the sickness thing is, it's, I don't know. I mean, it's a change of weather. We've been on a brutal travel schedule, so that always gets us, and every time we go to Michigan, somebody's going to the doctor, somebody's we have to run to the pharmacy, so I don't know what it is there, and then injuries, there's just been a lot of little things that have creeped up, like an ab pull. I mean, how do you prevent that? It's just kind of one of those things. But the good thing is, I knew going in, and I said this in the very beginning, we could play anybody, and we have, and everybody's played in our team, and we've played more lineups, and we played 3 different setters. So it's been a team that everybody in this team can play and help this team.
Have you ever had this much back and forth with all the different lineups we've seen this season? Have you ever had that in all of your years coaching at Nebraska?
No. This has been, that sheet I make with our lineups, and I draw out all our patterns and everything. I've already had to reprint. I get groups of 10 of them. Lindsay makes them for me on kind of this harder, firmer paper that it's like thick paper. I've already gone through my second batch that I had her make. She makes groups of 10 of them at a time. So that's how many times we've changed our lineup.
Do you think you finally have settled on a lineup?
I don't know. Our lineup's kind of been forced by if somebody's out or we can't, we have to make an adjustment or flip somebody. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. The good thing is, we do have some options, but I also don't want to be like, okay, if we have a bad match, do we just junk everything? And so that's what we're constantly evaluating, and we do that through stats, practice, video. We have an amazing numbers that we can evaluate each rotation, each player, who hits better off what setter. So it's almost too much information. I have Kelly kind of break it all down, and she kind of gives me like a 1-page report every week that we evaluate this, because it starts getting in your head too much. Like you're thinking, okay, we're a little bit weak here, so maybe we need to change the whole thing. So I don't like going there. I kind of go more with my gut.
Why is this team so good defensively? What's the secret?
I think it's a mindset. We train it, and we talk about it all the time. We've got some players that really embrace it. I mean, it starts with Lexi Rodriguez, who's an incredible defender, that just spreads, and it's pride for us. One of our goals is to be the #1 defensive team in the Big Ten. I think we've been that for the last 5 years. So it's something we work on, because we know if we're a great defensive team every night, that gives us a chance.
You keep glancing over. Are you watching Thursday Night Football?
No. Watching soccer. Our soccer team.
Is it Husker soccer?
Yeah, they're up 4-1 on Penn State.
Okay. We're recording this Thursday night.
There's a lot of TVs in here, Lauren.
I know. Well, I thought it was maybe the Thursday Night Football game, and you were turning over and watching that.
No.
I want to ask you about this, and Nate, your SID, he's awesome. He gave me this information. And what he told me is, in the 5 seasons leading up to this year, you are 10-20 when hitting under 210 for a hitting percentage. So only winning 33% of the time. Now this year, you are 4-1 when hitting under 210. So can part of that, I'm assuming part of that is we can attribute to the defensive efforts that we were just talking about. But does it seem like this team has a special level of competitiveness to them, or is that mindset? And it seems like they also really enjoy battling all the way to the end. I don't think we've had one match so far this season where I've been watching and I've thought, man, this team has given up and this game isn't even over yet, or this set isn't even over yet. So where does that fight come from? Again, is that the mindset, or is that unrelated?
Well, it starts with leadership, and then we've got some really competitive players on our team, and that also that spreads because you're around these competitors. Of course, the coaches are competitors as much as anybody. So it's something that, and again, I think the success of last year, there's carryover from that. But we've got, in our freshmen, are incredible competitors, and two of them have played a lot, Becca and Maggie. So we got a team of competitors who compete, and they compete every point. And again, that's something that we, try to develop as our culture, is we're going to battle every point.
Did you know about those stats that I just read to you, or was that breaking news for you?
That was breaking news.
Wow, I love it when I give you a stat that you don't know.
Yeah, but if
you guys stat everything.
Yeah, if you play great defense, so and we only hit 200, but our opponents hit 050, usually we're going to win.
True.
So that's one of the things. And again, part of our offensive challenges has been we played 3 different setters, so we haven't. It's taken us a while to get in a great rhythm.
All right, we're going to have some fun now. I want you to first take us through, we've had some requests for this, take us through a day in the life for you, and I want it detailed, like what time you wake up, what you do when you wake up, if you do any morning meditation, whatever that looks like, and then take us through the rest of the day. And then try and take us through a day in the life of one of your players, to the best of your knowledge.
To the best of my knowledge.
And then also for one of your coaches, also to the best of your knowledge.
The coaches are we're all on the same schedule. So.
Okay. So give us your schedule and then a player's schedule.
Yeah, so I wake up when the sun comes. I mean, at 7 o'clock is usually when I get up. And
do you set an alarm?
No. I'm hoping I sleep till 7. So. But I wake up several times in the night, so there you go on that. But wake up at 7, and then I make a shake every morning, a smoothie with this protein powder, vegetables, fruit, all organic, coconut milk, and some almond butter in there, and that's how I get my day going. I get to the office, and I make my matcha tea and do my first intensive work, whether it depends on the day what we're doing. So if we're come back from a road trip, it's winding down that road trip, and then if it's, but usually in the morning I'm planning practice, watching video, winding down a road trip, or preparing for the next opponent. Along with radio interviews and stuff like that, press conference, certain days. So
sometimes a haircut.
Yeah. Then usually at 11 is workout, and I get an hour workout in, whether that's lifting weights or biking. And if I bike, I'm watching video on my laptop. So I have a stationary bike in the office. Works out great. Bill Belichick does that too. He's the coach of the New England Patriots, Lauren, in case you didn't know.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Okay.
I know.
Yeah.
I compared your Nick Saban, Russ Rose is Bill Belichick. That's
interesting.
When we brought him on the podcast, I made that comparison. But do you wear the cutoff sweatshirt that?
No, I don't do that.
Bill Belichick. Okay. We should get you one.
Yeah.
Be a good look for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, Lauren. I'm not sure the cutoff sweatshirts would look good on Coach. I think I'm with him on that one. Again, the full podcast will drop tomorrow. Look for it where you get your podcasts. It's a great listen, as always. Well, if the Huskers return the first or second half opening kick for a touchdown, you could be a winner of a $54,000 credit on a new vehicle from any Woodhouse Auto Family dealership this season. A contestant chosen each game week. To get yourself registered, go to Huskers.com/Woodhouse for official rules and how to get yourself entered. Our phones are back up and running, 402-413-2400. Tim in Minnesota, hang on. We'll get your call next.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Look, honey, it's a falling star. Let's make a holiday wish.
No, that's a satellite.
Oh, there's another.
Nope, airplane.
So what are we supposed to wish on?
Let's enter non-winning Nebraska Lottery Holiday Wishes 2X, 10X, or 20X scratch tickets for a chance to win $1, $5, or $10,000. It's the Holiday Wishes Second Chance promotion.
Now the one over there has to be a falling star.
Yeah, sorry, bottle rocket fired off by the college kid next door.
Promotion ends January 4th, 2023. Top prize odds vary by game.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Webster comes the other way. Looks, surveys the court, gives to Tominaga, steps into a three. It's on the way. Got it! Bang! Tominaga hits a three.
Hey, Huskers fans, tomorrow, join us for Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we sit down with Nebraska men's basketball head coach Fred Hoiberg for his first radio show of the season. And Hour 2 will break down the latest Nebraska football practice report from Mickey Joseph. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
For 46 years, our focus has been our customers at Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont. Come see for yourself how easy buying your new car, truck, or SUV at Sid Dillon can be. Stop by our dealership in Fremont to order your new vehicle and shop in-stock and inbound inventory. And if you need a commercial vehicle, we're your GMC Business Elite dealer. Shop at SidDillonBuickGMC.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
GMC, we are professional grade.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you. It's a Monday night here on Sports Island. Let's go to the phones. Tim in Minnesota joins us next. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, folks. Two things here. One regarding October, next regarding the Saturday's game. First of all, let me get you off speakers. Belated happy birthday, Jessica. I didn't catch it until after the fact, and I wasn't able to call Saturday or Friday. So,
well, thank you. Appreciate that.
And a cool thing about that I learned shortly after Greg's birthday is that the three of us, you, Greg, Greg, Jessica, and myself, all get to share a month of birthdays with some really cool folks that names will probably ring a bell. Greg, I think, what is it, Tony Dungy is the day after yours, one next to Tom Osborne, someone I respect coach-wise, one of the most. And the day after mine is Jerry Rice.
There you go. One of the best.
And Logan Smothers, I guess.
There you go. All right.
So I found that out by peeking in the media guide. So, cool. I like October. Okay, Husker related. I got to catch that version of Sideline Slice, which it was great as usual, and I think it was spot on. And, I'm thinking back to that real frustrating game where we just, did not show up when we lost by 18 two years ago during the COVID year. And I'm wondering how much the absence of fans maybe had to do with it's not, an excuse in and of itself, but I'm thinking that may have been a huge factor because, boy, that could have really changed things around if we could have played like we were capable of playing in that game. Don't want to look back too much, but it's good that we'll have the fans. Oh, and last thing, I'm watching Justin Fields, and he's looking like the Justin Fields you guys saw about 3 years ago. So that's it.
All right, Tim, appreciate it. Thanks for the call. Happy birthday to you as well. And, yeah, the Bears are up 10-0 on the Patriots of that game. Tim, that whole COVID year was so odd, so strange, playing in these big stadiums and nobody there. Huskers had just come off a victory over Penn State where they played really well. I think that was the game that they benched Adrian and started Luke McCaffrey quarterback, and that just didn't go real well for the Huskers that day. But that COVID year was just – I'm so glad that that's behind us and we're not having to deal with that anymore. Well, fans, you can win a Husker football road trip package courtesy of AAA Nebraska. Package includes 2 tickets to the Black Friday game in Iowa City. We'll give you a gas card, hotel accommodations. You can enter at huskers.com/AAA road trip. Expect something more with AAA. 402-413-2400. That's the number if you want to be a part of the last segment of the program with a call or a text. We're back to wrap it up next.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
To win the game, you got to have more strength. You got to be tougher. You got to be reliable. You got to want it more than the other guy. And you need a great team you can count on, backing you up the whole time. Whether it's in the field with your Massey Ferguson or on the field with the Huskers, red is the color of getting it done quicker, smarter, and efficiently. So this season, make sure you're checking out the lineup that'll get more done where and when it counts. From your Nebraska Massey Ferguson dealers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Bank of the West is offering the first checking account designed for climate action. It gives back 1% of the account's net revenue to the planet at no cost to you. Shows you the estimated carbon impact of debit card purchases. And there's no minimum balance required. Learn more at bankofthewest.com/1%. Additional conditions apply. Member FDIC.
Get a Hy-Vee Plus Premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. For a limited time, get $50 off an annual Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG. That's right, get $50 off a Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. Final few minutes of the program. If you want to be a part of it, still time. 402-413-2400. Doc in Lincoln said, hey, more rebounds this year are a welcome and necessary to win in the Big Ten Conference. Amen to that. And I think this team will be.
Yeah, and it's been a huge emphasis. It's been a big part of that, along with the defense. I mean, they know they got to be better rebounding this year for sure.
Steve in Bellevue, JB is a walking, talking simile. Very clever. I would agree. Steve, you're dead on with that one. Jim in Columbus said, oh boy, I'm going to send your Halloween costumes tomorrow to Greg and Jessica.
Oh,
you will wear them
Uh-oh, look at that.
That's a little scary, thinking about that. Little scary for that. Hey, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Time for weekend winners. Tim, get over here. You got to get on the mic. Andrew's got a mic back there by him. And so while we wait for Tim to hustle over here, we'll start with Andrew. I think I have an idea what this might be. Well, Andrew, your weekend winner.
Yep, my weekend winner already got pretty much exposed already. It's going to be Bryce McGowan's getting his first NBA bucket.
Okay.
Very good. No, good. First of many for Bryce.
First of many.
He will score a bunch. Tim.
Man, this was a weekend where I had a lot of losers that I would have picked because my sports teams all let me down. You know what? I'm watching this Monday Night Football game, and I don't think it's out of the question that we see Bailey Zappi in this game, but I'm going to go with Bailey Zappi just because of the story he has right now, and I despise the Patriots. I grew up on the East Coast. It was everyone hates the Patriots except for people in Boston and north of there. So, but Bailey Zappi, I mean, he's been a fun story to watch, and how crazy would it be again if the Patriots do that again, where Bill Belichick pulls one out of the hat in the 4th round as opposed to Brady in the 6th round. So I'm going to go Bailey Zappi. He's been fun to watch.
Great name. One of the good names. All right, what do you have?
CTB, Cam Taylor-Britt made his debut, and there's a really cool video that one of the local affiliates, he captured it when he was coming off the field. And I'm going to pull up the handle.
He
so
was
it's
so
Fox
excited.
19 Jeremy, Jeremy, and he said that Cam Taylor was very emotional post-game, celebrating with his family after his first game with the Bengals.
Good for him.
Yes.
He'd been hurt because he got hurt
Yep.
early in camp, and so he really wasn't a part of the first month of that. And the Bengals are turning things around a little bit. They're starting to play better football. They're too good to not be going along. So good for Cam. JoJo Doman's been getting time with the Colts. As Art in Los Angeles pointed out, Brendan Hymas got a start at center for the Chargers over the weekend as well. So some former Huskers doing some really good things in the National Football League. I think this might have been my winner last week, but I'm doing it again because Becca Alec got named Freshman of the Week again in Big Ten volleyball. How can we not go with the #1 ranked team in the country? This is awesome.
I think one of our callers called her a dream crusher, I think, or something like that. I forget who said it, but somebody out there called her that. I think that's pretty accurate.
11 straight.
Yep.
They've won 16 straight sets. That's right?
I believe it's 19. 19, which is a record since they joined the Big Ten. That's what Lauren came back with that stat. She probably got it from either she might have done it or Nate Poland, our great SID over there, might have found it.
That's just crazy.
Like 19 straight sets.
In this league, to be doing that?
Yep, exactly.
Unbelievable. They play Wisconsin on Wednesday night. Then, folks, there is a change to their Saturday. They're back home Saturday to play Maryland, and they have changed that. It was going to be a 7 o'clock first serve. It's now 7:30. With the football game being at 2:30, they wanted to give folks a little bit more time to get from Memorial Stadium over to the Devaney Center with all the traffic. So that's been backed up. So if you have tickets to Saturday night's Husker volleyball match with Maryland, it now will start at 7:30. A little later night for you.
Yeah, I was going to say we'll have some late night volleyball this week. I like it because it means your prime time. That's the mentality I think they take. And I know Coach Cook doesn't love the late games. I remember him talking about that last year. But you know what? It's because everyone wants to see Nebraska, and that's a great problem to have.
Maryland's the last team to win a set against the Huskers.
That's correct.
And Coach Cook was not happy with that 4-set win on the road a couple of weeks ago.
That podcast, I think he mentions it, and he mentioned it last week on his show, but he said multiple times to his team before they played Maryland that after they beat him the first time, watch out for these guys a second time because they are not a joke. They're a good program.
Right. So that's Saturday. They first thing first, they got the Badgers, the defending national champs, on Wednesday night. Well, our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. They've got 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Tomorrow night, we'll have our men's basketball show. Fred Hoiberg here, hour 1. Mickey Joseph will have a press conference tomorrow as we get back into football action. Illinois will be the opponent on Saturday. We'll have comments from Mickey with our practice report coming up in hour number 2 tomorrow night. I feel like I haven't seen Coach Joseph in weeks.
I know. I can't wait. He had a good week over the good couple weeks.
He was all over the place.
Yes, he was.
Yep. Saw pictures of him in Atlanta, in Phoenix, and some other places. He was busy last week. So tomorrow night, men's basketball coaches show. Wednesday night, women's basketball coaches show. Thursday night, our volleyball show with John Cook, and our football show with Barrett Root. So a busy week coming up here on Sports Nightly. Thanks to the cast and crew for putting this one together. Thanks to all of you. What a fun show tonight. Back into it after a weekend of no football, but we certainly were busy here on the network. We had a volleyball broadcast on Saturday and a men's basketball broadcast on Sunday, and a busy week ahead as we are hitting the crossover time in sports with all the winter sports getting cranked up around here. Thanks to everybody for being a part of this one tonight. Back tomorrow night with another full 2 hours. Have yourself a good evening. Good night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. more powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
Every day, Central Valley Ag works with ranchers to make sure they have the right protein mix to help their herd gain maximum weight during winter. No other feed supplement helps your cattle gain weight like Central Valley Ag's Advantage Range Cubes with 23% protein. For a limited time, lock in quantity and price discount and register to win 10 bags of CVA Advantage Range Cubes when you go online to cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
The Ford truck lineup is purpose-built from the ground up, designed to be tough and productive. Crafted with high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body and torture-tested high-strength steel frame with new tech to help you work smart and hard. The F-150, Ranger, and Maverick are built tough and ready to tackle whatever lies ahead. Hit the road in confidence and learn more about Ford trucks in-store or online.